aka Padders. Welcome to the big one, episode 550 of AKAPAD's The Film Buff Podcast. And it's me, your host, Peter A. DeLuca, aka Pad69, and always known as the eclectic one throughout the multiverse. But here, it's the Film Buff, because this is my film obsession. This is my film journey. This is me documenting, and say with me, discussing, talking, profiling. I feel like I'm Ric Flair there. But no, my goal is to do this, what we're about to do with Black Adam, to do this with every single movie ever made. It's a big task. I'm up for it. I really should be dropping like 5 to 10 of these a day to really hit that goal. But let's just catch up from last week. And real quick, last week and this weekend, it really was Monday through Thursday of last week. We had a out-of-town crew with the IT job. And, it kind of led to 8-hour 12-hour days, like full days. Like normally with the IT gig, I'm working like 2 to 4 hours in a single business day, but that doesn't include me being available remote and doing things from home and doing things while I'm bouncing around the city, or even sometimes on vacation. I'm just always available. I really do not take time off. But with that said, we kind of initiated and set a lot of things in motion that would play out for the rest of the year. And then having people from out of town, and Philadelphia being the dangerous city that it is, people want to go out, they want to explore things. And it's sometimes best that those people have a host and they kind of have someone that can just keep the group overall like on a swivel. Just so people just don't end up in bad places and or bad situations. And something kind of like did happen late one of the nights. We had a little bit of an altercation, nothing serious, but just sometimes in the streets late at night things do get weird. And anyway, but we moved on and we're talking. So we're making up. That's the point I'm getting at. So I'm trying to do 2 episodes a day for this week, just to catch up on what we missed last week. And I have a lot of this programmed out. I wanted 550 and 551 to be all about Black Adam, going into the Black Adam end credit sequence, which is really the final. It's the final of what we would call the DCEU, the DC Extended Universe. Currently, it's taken over by James Gunn, or co-taken over. He has another cohort, but he's CEO. He retitled everything, redirected everything, built out a phase called Gods and Monsters, and the overall effort is called the DC Universe, not DC Extended Universe, not that it makes much of a difference. And this movie, this was a movie that I rushed to go see. I wanted to go see this. I have a friend that I see movies like this with, and you might be saying to yourself, Pete, like, what type of movie? Why do you need a special type of friend? Because usually for these types of movies, we drink alcohol, we eat a lot of food, whatever dumb food that the theater has, we order all of it. We prefer theaters that serve alcohol, but we just go, we spend a lot of money on this garbage, and we just watch these movies in a very lucid, fun state. And that's the intention. And we've done this for Mission Impossible, Fast and Furious, some of the Marvel movies. Not any of the recent Marvel movies, because they just don't beckon anything like that. They really don't. It's just a extension of the excitement sometimes to see movies. And him and I, we're action guys. We did just see like John Wick together. We'll discuss that here. But we like action movies, and we like The Rock, and we don't care what people say that The Rock is a one character type performer and this and that. It's that's all baloney, because when you look into the production of this movie, it's impressive. It's impressive how long Black Adam has been in pre-production. It's impressive that The Rock got Henry Cavill, got Superman like suited up once again to be a part of the end credit sequence in this movie. And yes, you have to wait a whole episode to just hear some of my thoughts on that. Like Boss Logic, the concept poster artist, or the Instagram Photoshop personality. Yeah, like he does good work, but even The Rock recognizes like Boss Logic's ability and like audience and internet reach, or his audience within Instagram, and commissions him to do some scenes, to do some ideas featuring The Rock as Black Adam in this movie during the final pitch process. Like it's awesome when you see and hear stuff like that. It's just fun, and along the way, no one really knew what to expect from this movie, because Black Adam pretty much came prominent in the DC comics within the modern day. Black Adam's been around since the 1943 or 1944, I believe. He's essentially a dynamic opposite of Shazam. Back during the day, there was a wizard, and the wizard granted his powers to a protector, and that protector went evil and became Black Adam, and then was cast into another dimension. Now, thousands of years later, the wizard is dying. He tries it again, and he creates Shazam with Billy Batson, and that becomes more of the wizard's vision. And then eventually, of course, Black Adam gets reawoken or reintroduced into the modern day. He breaks himself from his prison, and then we have fights. That's just played out. And through this Shazam deep dive that we've been documenting on this podcast, the important part to understand is that as Shazam left relevancy, Black Adam rose in relevancy, and in a very big way. Black Adam is the third top villain in DC Comics, and all of their thousands of characters. We have the Joker, we have Darkseid, and then we have Black Adam, and we can really say everything else is a distant fourth. Potential, like the best distant fourth might be Deathstroke, potentially. Like Lex Luthor doesn't even make this list. And I'm talking about like power, the expectations from the audience, and really what the character represents. Black Adam is that. And going into this movie, it was hard to imagine The Rock playing this type of villain, this type of ruthless killer, where in the comics Black Adam has ripped people to shreds. He's impaled individuals. He's done every single worst thing you can imagine. And people love it. They love the idea that he was intended to be good, and one time he was good, and he chose evil. It's as interesting as when people choose the powers of good and the powers of light. A little bit more hype, a little bit more excitement came from this movie when we heard Pierce Brosnan was going to be playing Dr. Fate. More excitement when we heard that the Atom was going to be in this movie, or Atom Smasher, Hawkman, and then we were going to have a version of the Justice Society of America, not the Justice League of America. And, like those positions and those solutions fit perfectly in a Black Adam movie, because again, we don't want to introduce the Black Adam with him fighting the best of the best. He needs to go through somewhat of a lower tier character list, and just him going one-on-one with a Dr. Fate and holding his own sets this character up in such a brilliant way. Again, lost within the general audience. And the other major point within this Black Adam movie that was lost is when Black Adam's resurrected and he's having his fish out of water moments, and they know he's there, and they send a superhero team in to maybe talk him off the ledge, and again, all predictable type stuff. We see the statue in this home city of Black Adam, and we think it's a statue of him, and it's later revealed that it's in fact a statue of his son, his slave son, the slave son that drove Black Adam into villainhood, into evil, that made him want to rule through power and rule through might, because deep down he's trying to correct that. He's trying to correct the loss of his son. it's deeply powerful, deeply meaningful. The scene in this movie where they reveal that is a powerful of a superhero scene than you can imagine, or it can be written, or has been done. It really would. I mean, if I were to make a list, that revelation is in a top 10 list, maybe even a top 5 list of true moments. And that's the big thing here, because this movie gives us moments. It gives us visuals. It strives to impress us. It strives to embed itself into our gray matter. And since I saw this movie in the theater, I was so happy that HBO Max got it relatively soon. I believe I even bought it on digital right away, because I just love sitting down and watching this movie. I love the villain at the end. I love that, we're kind of working with a MacGuffin, and the MacGuffin is going to summon a bad guy, and then we all have to join forces to beat up the bad guy. The ending of this movie echoes everything that happened in Suicide Squad, which I do like that handshake. I do like that those two movies have similar notes. The positioning that DC does have gods as heroes, not vigilantes. They will have to fight gods. They will always have to fight evil gods, as opposed to like common criminals, or just like, again, like ideas that people can hold on to that's outside their window. That's Marvel, but DC is something else. DC is something fantastic. DC, in a way, should exist in the realm of the unimaginable. Again, same ending in Wonder Woman, same ending here, same level of satisfaction, because we go through the process of depowering the hero and watching the hero come to terms with their own weaknesses to defeat the hero. These are beats rolled in and designed into the final sequence of this movie, and we have, I forget the name. I forget the name of the villain in this. I'm looking for it. Demons Rises. I cannot. Oh my God, I cannot find it. I want to say Sobek. It's not Sobek. Sabek. Yeah, it is Sabek. Dude, go look up the action figure for this guy. He's just like a big red demon. I love it so much. I love the way how The Rock really portrays Black Adam with a chip on his shoulder, with maybe trying to do the right thing. But he prefers violence. He prefers to fight. It's very enlightening to see somewhat like a more of a villain-leaning character maybe learn good things through a different age, because again, he's been away for so long. But I don't know, people. I really feel like Black Adam got the short end of the stick. I feel like the entire geek community, or the film community, or the geek comic book culture community out there walked away from this movie, and it became too easy of a movie for people to crap on, and they do not look at the nuances of the characters, which is the one thing everyone complains about. Everyone complains that these movies don't have characterization. They don't set things up. They don't pay things off. Like they do, and it's way better when it's FUN, and that's everything that this movie is. It's just talking about it, I get a little upset. And we have the end credits sequence. So let's just leave it there. And we're going to walk away from Shazam for a little bit after episode 551. 552, we're going to discuss Air, another entry into the film world by the one Ben Affleck, who also has a DCEU, not DCU, but DCEU connection as the Batman. Let's get to it. AKAPAD here, the film buff. I love you guys. This movie, Black Adam, is nothing but recommended. Check it out. Rock and roll.